guys, hope you're doing good today. I wanted to come to you and tell you a little bit about a stock investment that I made just the other day. And before we get to that and my rationale behind why I decided to make that investment, I want to make sure that you understand that what I'm sharing with you today is purely for information purposes. It's just my opinion. It's not investment advice that I think you should run out and copy what I'm doing. I'm just trying to share with you my thought processes and how I look at different investments and why I decided to invest in this one particular stock. As always, if you have a financial advisor, well, if you don't have one, go out and get one. If you do have one, I want you to call them before you make any type of investment decision. And also, finally, never make an investment unless you're willing to light that money on fire and watch it completely disappear. Only do so with money that you're willing to take huge risks with, right? So now that we got the Lego mumbo jumbo out of the way, I want to share with you why I decided to invest in a company called Beyond Meat. If you haven't seen this in the news, just a little bit about it is the simple idea is they create plant-based food products that are made to mimic regular meat. So one of the main products is a plant-based burger. The other would be a plant-based brat. They used to have some plant-based chicken strips. They've discontinued those for now, but they're working on other products. Sorry, I've still got that cough I told you about in the last video. So that's what the company does. Now, on May 2nd, Beyond Meat had their initial public offering, their IPO, and they originally had set the price target on that IPO at a whopping $25 per share. Well, as of about 2 days ago, it was all the way up to around $137 per share. Now, it did change today. Just overnight, JP Morgan downgraded the stock and set a new price target at $120 per share. It had gone, I believe it had gone all the way up to $169 per share. First thing this morning when the markets opened, as of today's date, which is June 11th, 2019, when the markets opened first thing this morning, shares were down 15%, but they were still up at $142 per share. So if you had bought at the time of their IPO, you had made well over $100 a share, a share if you sold them. And if you had bought when I had sent an order to my family's financial advisor, you still would be up over $15 per share. Now, in full transparency, that trade that I had sent over to our family financial advisor didn't happen for a variety of reasons. He gave me a little pushback on it, and of course, that's his job. But I went ahead and bought or invested a little bit as part of an individual trading account that I have. So I did buy shares in this. And again, you should do your own research before you do any investing based on what I'm saying. It's just an opinion. So let me walk you through why I am what's called long on Beyond Meat, meaning I'm planning on holding these shares or I may plan on holding this investment. When I made this investment, it wasn't that I planned to flip it for quick cash, which I could have done, right? Even with the 15% drop today, still up over $15 per share. And at the height, when it hit 168, was up over almost $40 per share. So quite a bit of gain. I just have to be honest with you. This cough is still starting to drive me crazy. So thanks for bearing with me. So here's why I'm long on Beyond Meat. There's a variety of reasons. I'm just going to share a few of them with you today. The first one is that they have already had to have their first quarterly report after going public. And that quarterly report had some really, really good news in it. And that really good news was that the company was beating the estimates on their sales. It was up. Net sales rose 215% in one quarter. And so they're doing great from a sales perspective. Now, I'm not going to mislead you. If you research the company, again, you should. The company is actually showing a net loss. They're still showing a loss, but they're growing quickly. And I think they can sustain that growth. And so the second reason that I'm long on Beyond Meat and this industry in general, the plant-based food industry, is because I believe that it's going to continue to grow. So I did some research for a client almost maybe 6 months ago who was creating a plant-based yogurt, and he wanted me to research for him sort of how the industry was growing. And as part of that research, I looked at the plant-based industry itself, and it is growing phenomenally. Matter of fact, the industry is growing. The research I found showed that it's growing at 8.1% per year, whereas other foods in the exact same category were declining. So it was plant-based was the only category that was actually growing year over year in the same category that I looked at. So at 8.1%. So the industry is growing quite a bit. And then also, one of the first businesses I started was being a direct distributor for a company that is plant-based out of Memphis, Tennessee, called NSA. They make plant-based whole food supplements, and I've been selling those for years. And I'm seeing an uptick in the request for these products. More and more people are asking me about them, and I believe that's because we are seeing more and more demand for plant-based products, for alternatives for people to be healthier. So that's my second reason that I'm long on company Beyond Meat, right? So net sales up, even though they're losing money, growing quite a bit. And the plant-based industry is shooting up quite a bit and looking very strong. Now, the third reason that I am long on Beyond Meat is because of the distribution channels that Beyond Meat does not have. Now, notice I just said it's the ones they don't have. If you go to their website, you can see where they distribute their products. They're in some really well-known distribution channels, some really good grocery stores and things like that, but they're not in a couple of key places that are big in my part of the country in the southern United States. So your specialty stores like Whole Foods, they're not there. They're not in Earth Fare. They're not in Fresh Market, these specialty grocery stores. They're also not in places like Kroger, which is a huge super regional, and they may even be nationwide at this point, grocery chain. And I believe that with the interest in these products going up and the interest in Beyond Meat itself increasing, that sooner or later they're going to end up in those chains, and that's just going to improve their chances for market share, and revenue is going to grow, and then they're going to get to a gain from a profit perspective. Now, I can't point to the exact article, but I know I read that there are some analysts who believe that by later this year, actually, that they will be no longer showing a loss. That seems awfully fast for me, because to grow, they're going to have to take on additional expenses. But I wouldn't be surprised, and again, it's just my opinion, if next year they're showing a gain. So started out an IPO at $25 a share, rocketed up to 168 last week or this week, and now dropped them down just a little bit. And a matter of fact, just for sake of taking a look, I will see where it's sitting at this very moment. I believe it's down to $125 a share. Nope, 126. So just barely where I bought it or invested at, not where it was yesterday. I could have bought when I put the order in 2 days ago and sold for $40, almost a $40 a share profit. But that doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is because I'm long this stock, meaning I'm planning on keeping it, holding it for a very long time. I think this company is going to continue to grow. They've got first mover advantage. Yes, this is their success of their IPO is going to get other folks interested in joining it, but they have first mover advantage. And I really believe that this company has good leadership, has good products. Haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I'm hearing it's very delicious. And that they've got some real advantages baked into their model. So I am long Beyond Meat. That's why I invested in it. I'd recommend at least taking a look at it yourself. If anything, if you like to invest in stocks, it's a great opportunity to analyze the stock and come up with reasons why you would and would not invest in the stock. But what I'm suggesting is not that you go out and invest in the stock, but that you research it and use it as a chance to learn and decide if it's something, or if that category is something that you want to watch moving forward. Hope that helps you. Have a great day.